Hello and welcome to My Web Academy. My name is Ben Neal and this week's class is Understanding the Competition Part 2. Let's have a quick recap of where we've been in the last 2 weeks. We've been researching your search terms and we've understood that there are 2 parts to this equation. Demand, essentially understanding your market, and supply, understanding your competition. Now, Bruce covered understanding demand in the first instalment of My Web Academy a couple of weeks ago, and in it he taught you to identify the search terms that your prospects use to find your products and services, and crucially to identify the number of prospects using these search terms. Now, last week I talked about the supply side of the equation. Essentially, this means the other websites targeting the same search terms as you. That's right, the competition. We talked a lot about the quantity of the competition, the number of competing web pages for your search terms, and we talked a little bit about quality, and that's what I'm going to talk more about this week. Let's talk about the techniques and tools that I spoke about last week. Just in summary, the Google Keyword Tool, which we've visited every week so far. This indicates competition for each search term that you've researched, but this competition value is actually AdWords competition. It's talking about how much your competitors are prepared to pay to be there. So it has no bearing on the quality of the competition in the organic or natural search engine results, which is the ones we're interested in. I also talked about Keyword Effectiveness Index, or KEI, which is a formula for calculating niche search terms, if you like. Now, this again looks at the quantity of the competition, not the quality. It has no bearing on the quality of these pages that are returned in the Google search engine results. So, for example, there might be 2.8 million competing web pages for your search term, but if they're all rubbish web pages in Google's eyes, then that doesn't mean that there's a lot of competition out there. It might still be possible to rank quite easily for it. So we need to have a look at the quality. Now, how do we analyze the quality of the competition? Well, fortunately, there are some tools available, and you're going to recognize them because a couple of them we've used already in the last couple of weeks. The Google search results themselves, we're going to go back to Microsoft Excel, which is a very, very important tool for search engine research, and another new tool I'm going to introduce, Open Site Explorer, which is a tool developed by the wonderful SEO Moz. They developed a whole range of fantastic tools for search engine optimization, and this particular version of Open Site Explorer is the free version, and that's fortunately for us all we need this week. The data that we need from Open Site Explorer can be obtained from the free version. So let's go back to the Google search results, our search for Sash window replacement. Now, ignore the AdWords at the top. We're interested in these ones here, these organic results, and we need to copy and paste each web address or URL from these results, copy and paste them into a Excel spreadsheet like this, and here they are, the top 10 sites for Sash window replacement, all copied into this spreadsheet. That's all from page 1 of Google. Okay, now we're going to hop over to Open Site Explorer. Now I shall give you the web address, the link for this. If you'll see it below this video, so you can click on this and find this quite easily. Then we're going to copy and paste each of these web addresses from our Excel spreadsheet into Open Site Explorer and click Search. And this is going to bring up a load of information. Now, don't be overwhelmed by this. We're only interested in a few of the metrics displayed here, particularly these 3 here. In fact, only these 3 here: page authority, domain authority, and linking root domains. These are the ones we're interested in now. Now, So what do these three terms mean? Okay, I'm going to give you some definitions for these terms so that we can understand what they're actually measuring. Firstly, domain authority. Now this is a score out of 100 which predicts a website's ranking potential in the search engines. Now just to give you an idea of this, the BBC has a score of 99 out of 100, so it's very, very powerful, and that's going to give it a significant advantage over the competition for ranking for search terms that it uses in its pages. The second one, page authority. This is very similar to domain authority, but it's talking about a single page rather than a whole website. So it's predicting a single page's ranking potential in the search engines, and again this is scored out of 100. And the third metric we're interested in is linking root domains. Now don't be baffled by that. That essentially means the number of websites linking to this site. Now links are very, very important in terms of your ranking in Google, and that's the subject of another entirely different class, which we will cover later on down the line. But safe to say for the moment that the number of links are important in establishing your credibility in the Google rankings. Okay, so we need to record this data. We need to add the domain authority, the page authority, and the linking root domains, the number of linking root domains, to your spreadsheet for each of the web addresses that feature in Google's page 1, Google's top 10. Okay, so you need to repeat that process for the other nine sites in Google's page 1. And then repeat the process for your own site, so you have an idea of where your own site is measured in Google terms, if you like. Okay, so this is what the spreadsheet looks like now we've done that. We've got the domain authority, the page authority, the number of linking root domains, and these are the top 10 sites for Sash window replacement. Okay, now look what I've done here. I've calculated the averages. You can do this with a handy Excel formula and calculate the average domain authority, page authority, and number of linking root domains. Now you need to go back and repeat this for all your search terms. So all of the search terms you exported from the Google Keyword Tool in week 1, go through that, find out the top 10 results for that search term, and then copy and paste the web addresses from Google into Excel, and then again into Open Site Explorer, and retrieve the domain authority, the page authority, and number of linking root domains for those sites. And then when you've calculated the average domain authority, the average page authority, and the average number of linking root domains for each of your search terms, then you'll be able to compare them for difficulty. And obviously the higher these figures are, the more difficult they are. Right, now you're in a position to identify the low-hanging fruit. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean the niche search terms. The terms which drive plenty of targeted traffic to your site. There's lots of people looking for using these search terms. Okay? But the least difficult, the ones with the lowest numbers, the lowest average domain authority, page authority, number of linking root domains. And then I suggest you target 5 or 10 of these search terms to start with. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. If you're targeting lots and lots of search terms, you're not going to be focused enough to actually achieve results quickly. Target a few, and when you've got them working for you, then you can come back and start again. Do the next 5 or 10 search terms. So what do you do with these? Well, what do you do with these search terms? You need to put them into your content. Next week we'll be talking about optimizing your content using your chosen search terms, the 5 or 10 search terms that you've selected using the process I've described today. In the meantime, here's some homework. First of all, find out who ranks on page 1 for each of your search terms. And secondly, record each site's domain authority, page authority and number of linking root domains into your spreadsheet. Compare with your own site's metrics and identify the low-hanging fruit and target 5 or 10 search terms, 5 or 10 best search terms based on the research and analysis that you've done. Thank you very much for joining me today.